if you've followed me for a while, you'll know that these days I don't teach mainstream sleep training techniques. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm against them, and you'll certainly get no judgment from me if you've tried these with your child, but I'm simply here to offer an alternative for parents who are not drawn to things like cry out, space soothing, timed responses, disappearing chair, or any of those other methods that don't align with their style of parenting. So, what does my approach look like? Full disclosure, sometimes it looks like the exact opposite of mainstream sleep training. And probably the easiest way to explain it is to use an example. So, I met a mummy the other day who's got a 3.5-year-old. Great sleeper, still naps, falls asleep easily. She has lots of sleep overnight, but she still wakes. She needs her parents. She requires a lot of input from about 1 a.m. onwards, and will sleep through if her parents are with her. Now, Mum thought that perhaps the daytime nap was interfering with her overnight sleep, but on examination of the situation, it sounds like she is quite a high sleep needs child, so I didn't feel like that was the case, and I actually felt it was more like a cry for connection. Because let's not forget, it's really normal and developmentally appropriate at 3 years of age to need more connection, because they're really aware of belonging and ownership at this stage of development. So I got Mum to describe the bedtime to me, and she said, "Oh, it's such a beautiful bedtime. Always ends with our daughter falling asleep on the knee of one of us in the armchair in her bedroom. Then we transfer her to the cot. It's really easy, goes down beautifully, and she used to sleep through, but lately things have gone backwards." So I thought, well, maybe, I said to her, "Do you think maybe it's actually a sign that things are moving forwards? So what if it's simply a case that that method no longer makes sense to her? Now she's older and becoming far more clever, she might be thinking, how did I get in the cot? Why am I suddenly alone? Where's everybody gone? I always have help to go back to sleep, and I can't do this alone." Because from her point of view, if she always has full assistance to fall asleep at bedtime, then really there's no opportunity for her to understand other ways on how to resettle herself, and certainly not in the cot if she's always used to doing it on their knee. And it may possibly even be habitual, in the sense that when she goes to bed, she knows that at some point in the night she's going to have to wake up to summon her parents back. It's part of the overnight ritual. So what is the solution? Now, mainstream sleep training would largely focus on pushing for that independence. But the way I work is to find that point of safety first. So in this situation, I would actually recommend staying with this little girl, lean into her need for closeness while she masters skills around sleep. But many people are really suspicious of this. They feel like it's creating bad habits. But like I always reassure them, it's simply that we're in it for the long game here. We want to encourage extra autonomy and play, because let's not forget, that's how children learn best. We want to be fully available to support any big feelings, any confusion, annoyance, or frustration about the changes, with calm confidence and soft actions and lots of affection, so they feel safe. So basically, break down the journey into small, manageable steps. And for this little one, to help her experiment with other ways that she might want to fall asleep, but on a mattress first, so rather than on her parents' lap in the chair. Now, if she's happy to do this in the cot as an initial step, amazing. Chances are she won't be. So my suggestion is a floor mattress, a shared floor mattress. Let's get horizontal to begin with. Let's move this whole operation out of the chair and put it on a bed where we want her to be doing it independently very soon. So staying with her all night for that consistency and company, not to jump up and get back in the chair and resettle her there like they are doing, but simply be there as a reassuring reminder that she now knows how to fall asleep on a bed. Now, taking these small steps with our children really supports and empowers them, because we're then helping to share the secrets with them on how sleep happens. It really puts them in charge of sleep. It's no longer a process that's done to them, and they can facilitate it themselves. And once they know, then away they go. Now, I was finishing up with a client of mine yesterday, and we were just reflecting on how far they'd come with their little one. And Mum's actually a teacher, and she said, "Katie, I don't know if you actually realise, but the way you teach is a technique that we use in schools, and it's called the gradual responsibility release." I think I've got that right. So it basically involves taking really small steps with children, building foundations and presenting opportunities. So then, like teachers, Parents gradually do less in a process, and a great analogy is when kiddies are learning to walk or they're learning to swim. In the early stages, we're fully there to help them. But as they get more confident, we gradually release that responsibility and allow them to take more independence. And let's not forget, children want to grow up. They want to do things for themselves, particularly when something feels good. And we know sleep feels really good. So if this natural learning process around sleep appeals to you, but you now have lots more questions, my Toddler Technique community is probably something worth checking out. It's a program and a community for attachment-focused parents who want to overcome sleep challenges by building the foundations and inviting independence rather than forcing it on our little ones. Now, best of all, we have weekly Zoom catch-up calls, great for group discussions, awesome for fine-tuning your own gentle approach because it allows you to come up with new ideas as you listen to others share similar stories and the things that worked for them. This is really ideal if you want the information and know-how without the commitment or the price tag of one-on-one coaching. And for more information, I will put the link in the YouTube description or in the Insta bio, wherever you're watching this. And please, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below.